Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hello and welcome to Share Talk. Today I'm joined by Glen Lewis, who is a non-executive director at Oracle Power. How are you today, Glen?
Oh, good, thanks, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I've got some questions for you regarding Oracle. It's a company that's sort of maybe been relatively low profile in the past, but changes are afoot, and so it was worth just sort of asking you what the timelines are going to be and how things are going to work. First question, Oracle has stated that it wishes to focus on a range of projects going forward, as well as the Thar coal project in Pakistan. What will be the main driver of your strategy?
Well, I think the key thing is obviously looking to create shareholder value, and the best way to do that is to look at diversifying the portfolio. While the Thar project is a fantastic project, and it's certainly something that has founded the company, I think personally, and also the board, are of the opinion that it's worth diversifying into other geographies and other sectors in the mining space to try and get a broader spectrum of depth into the company.
In terms of your expertise, what will you be adding, and what will Oracle be adding in terms of that strategy?
Well, myself personally, I've been in the mining industry in Australia for just over 40 years now. 30 of those years in senior management roles, either mine manager, general manager, managing director. So I've certainly seen the coal industry at all levels and had a fair range of experience in bulk mining in general, so across some of the other commodities. But I think the board of Oracle are well placed to look at this diversification strategy because between the current four directors, we have significant experience in numerous areas, be it financial or mining or entrepreneurial for that matter. So I think we complement each other.
Okay, and obviously the last few months since COVID, it was perhaps a surprise all round, but we've seen precious metals rally very sharply. Those which were high have gone higher, those which are low have gone higher too. What are the main opportunities, and what do you think the upside is from present levels?
Well, obviously, whenever there's risk, people tend to go back to base metals as an investment. I think the opportunities are clearly that some people might have had smaller projects that they've been sitting on for many years, and now's the perfect time to try and cash some of them in. So I think looking for those opportunities where people are prepared to sell at a sensible price rather than stay for the long haul and develop, say, a project. I think that's clearly what we need to be focusing on. Just looking for things that have been maybe in hibernation due to pricing or for a number of other reasons, where you can now come on board, get them for a sensible price, and then actually get some real value out of them.
Right, as you said, you've been in the mining sector for quite a few years, let's say. Previous cycles come and go. What are the main lessons that the smaller players in the mining sector need to learn from the big boys and girls, the multinationals? Is there an advantage to being nimble and being a relatively smaller player?
Absolutely. Back in 1997, I started with was Glencore, that then became Xstrata in Australia as a mine manager when they purchased their first mine. So in my career with Glencore, we went from one mine to in excess of 30 globally. So I've got a lot of experience on how being nimble helps you to create a great company. And I think the main lessons that the small players can learn from the multinationals is, for numerous reasons, multinationals tend to be driven by all sorts of reasons as far as how they find assets, how they divest assets, and how they actually develop them. And the nimble, smaller companies that are astute to this should always be on the lookout for an asset that one of the multinationals has decided, for whatever reason, it's not going to develop and it should divest. And that's certainly what built Xstrata, is going and finding those types of assets. And I think that's why Oracle is well placed in the current environment to identify and then capitalise on those opportunities.
Finally, a difficult question, let's say. Where do you see Oracle being placed, let's say, a year from now?
Well, as you say, Zach, that is obviously difficult in the current global economic climate, but I think it's fair to say that Oracle will aim to be diversified over that 12 months, whether we pick up one or more than one additional value-add type projects. We'll still be focusing on the Thar project to continue to develop that. But I'd like to think within 12 months we've managed to pick up at least one other opportunity that strengthens the company moving forward.
Glen Lewis, Non-Executive Director at Oracle Power, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks very much, Zach.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.